Hello students, in this class we will see gravitational intensity and potential. Okay, this is a new topic to you. We have already discussed about the variation of G with height and depth, okay, and with latitude also due to rotation. Here gravitational intensity and potential. So before going to this gravitational intensity topic, I am telling one part, that is gravitational field. Gravitational field. Okay, what is this thing? Field means what? Field means a region around something. Okay, field means where we play, so that is a region. So this gravitational field means, suppose I am taking any heavy object. Okay, this is a heavy object of mass m. Clear? So around this heavy object there are few space in which if we place any other object, then this one will attract the second object, or the second object will experience a pull in the direction of this large mass. Clear? So if we keep a small object, then what will happen? That small object will be attracted towards this heavy object. So the region around this heavy object where any other object can experience a pull, gravitational pull, that region is called gravitational field. Okay, so gravitational field means a region around a object, or you can tell heavy object, where if we keep any second object, then that second object will experience a gravitational pull. So gravitational field is just a concept of a region. Okay, so now come to its measurement, its amount. So its amount is measured by this term, gravitational intensity. Okay, so now gravitational intensity. Gravitational intensity is basically a vector representation of gravitational field. Okay, vector representation. So first of all, it is a vector representation. This quantity is a vector quantity. Okay, that means it will have some particular direction and particular magnitude. Okay, so gravitational intensity means what? Intensity means, we all know that if two objects are kept at some separation, then those two objects will attract them each other by some force. That force is called gravitational force. Okay, now if this is an object of mass m and we want to find the gravitational intensity at any point, suppose at that point which is at a distance r from its center of mass. Okay, at a distance r. Clear? At this point we want to find the gravitational intensity. Okay, so the gravitational intensity, definition of gravitational intensity tells that put a unit mass, okay, suppose 1 kg in SI system, a unit mass, put unit mass at that point where you want to find gravitational intensity due to a heavy object. Clear? Then the amount of force acting on this 1 kg mass is known as gravitational intensity at that point due to the mass capital M. Clear? So its definition is, it is the amount of gravitational force, acting on a body of unit mass placed at the point where we want to find gravitational intensity. Okay, so gravitational intensity is basically the amount of gravitational force acting on a body of unit mass placed at that point where we want to find the gravitational intensity due to a heavy mass. Okay, heavy mass here capital M. Clear? So this is the gravitational intensity. Okay. So what will be its magnitude? So gravitational intensity is denoted by I. So what will be its magnitude? So if it is gravitational force, first I am writing force. So if it is gravitational force, then the formula is Gmm by r square. Okay. Now this small m is 1 kg. So in place of small m I will put 1 kg. Okay. When I am putting 1 kg in place of small m, then this force will be intensity is denoted by capital. Clear? Clear? It is the magnitude. It is the magnitude. Okay, I am coming to its unit, dimension, everything. Now, what will be its vector representation? That is very important. So, because of this is a vector quantity. So, here look, this is the distance, right? This is the distance. Distance is measured from its center of mass. Okay, so when I am going away from the center of mass, it is positive. Positive. That means I am going along positive r-axis. But the force is acting in this direction. Force is acting towards the center of mass. Towards the center of mass means it is acting along negative r-axis. Away from the center of mass, acting along positive r-axis. Towards the center of mass, acting along negative r-axis. So proper vector representation is minus r cap. R cap is basically a unit vector along the direction of this r axis. Clear? Like I cap, j cap, k cap, r cap is also a unit vector. So whenever we are dealing with attractive force, this is attractive force, gravitational force is always attractive. So whenever we are dealing with attractive force, then intensity will be negative. Intensity will always be negative when we are dealing with attractive force. And the same concept we will use in class 12 also in the first chapter, electrostatics. Okay, there we will see again that positive negative sign. When it is coming negative sign, that means attractive force, and when it is coming positive sign, that means repulsive force. Okay, so keep this concept in your mind. So this is the magnitude of intensity. Give vector sign here. Okay. Okay, so come to its unit. Unit is, what will be the unit? Unit is, this is the force per unit mass. Okay, so F by m we can tell, this m, which is you can tell as test mass. Okay, test mass. And here provided that this test mass will not affect the gravitational force due to the heavy mass. That means this test mass, small m should be very small than capital M. Okay, otherwise the small m will also affect the gravitational force at that point, or gravitational intensity at that point. So its unit will be unit of force Newton, unit of mass kg. So Newton per kg or Newton kg minus 1. Clear? Dimension of intensity. Dimension is always written in this way. Dimension means dimension of force by dimension of m. Dimension of F by dimension of m. Dimension of F means m L t to the power minus 2, and dimension of m means m, capital. Here m cancel out. Okay, m cancel out. So no m means m to the power 0, L t to the power minus 2. Clear? So this is the dimension of gravitational intensity. And here look, it is m0 L t to the power minus 2. Now can you tell me any other physical quantity which will have the same dimension, L t to the power minus 2? Same dimension. Which physical quantity will have same dimension? The physical quantity is acceleration. Okay, physical quantity is acceleration. Dimension of acceleration is also Lt to the power minus 2. It may be gravitational acceleration, it may be any kind of acceleration. Okay, so these two quantities will have same dimension. So intensity means it is the gravitational force acting on unit mass. Okay, and provided that this unit mass will not affect the gravitational field at this point, or gravitational intensity at this point, okay, which we are measuring due to the heavy mass. Okay, so this is gravitational intensity. Okay, now I am telling a small part, that is, suppose there are not one mass. Okay, few objects are there. This is one object, this is another object. Okay, this is suppose m1, this is m2, another one is here, suppose this is m3. Okay, and from m2 the distance of this point is r2, from m3 distance of this point is r3. Okay, clear? From m1 it is r1. Okay, so if there are number of masses, then what will be the gravitational intensity at this point? So resultant gravitational intensity you can tell. That means the gravitational intensity due to the three masses. Okay, so we will find the gravitational intensity for separate masses, and then we will do vector addition, because this intensity is vector quantity here. Okay, so I1 will be minus g m1 by r1 square r1 cap, I2 minus g m2 by r2 square r2 cap, and I3 all are vector, and I3 is minus g m3 r3 square r3 cap. Right, these are vectors, and we have to find the total gravitational intensity at this point. Okay, total gravitational intensity means vector addition, not normal algebra. Vector algebra we have to use. Vector algebra, we already have seen how to add vectors. So resultant intensity will be I1 vector, I2 vector, and I3 vector. That means if we take minus common, g m1 r1 square r1 cap, g m2 r2 square r2 cap, and g m3 r3 square r3 cap. Clear? So I am just telling the idea how to find the total gravitational intensity at any point due to a number of masses. Okay, this concept is not much needed for the board exam, but for competitive you have to keep in mind, and you have to solve different kinds of problems. Okay, so now come to the second thing, that is potential. Potential is another representation of gravitational field. Intensity is the vector representation, potential is the scalar representation. Okay, intensity and potential, they are related. Clear? And if we find potential, then our calculation will be very much easier, because it is a scalar quantity. Okay, and dealing with scalar quantity is much easier than dealing with vector quantities. So gravitational potential, it is the scalar representation. Okay, all the physical quantities we will see. That means unit, dimension. Okay, and I had already told in the dimension topic that whenever we will go from chapter to chapter, we will discuss many kinds of dimensions. So here first of all we have to understand its definition. What is the meaning of potential? Okay, potential is nothing but a work done. Okay, potential is work done. We cannot measure potential, exactly potential at any point. We can measure the potential difference between 2 points. So when I will write the definition, I will write in that way, potential difference. Okay, but one potential we will take at such a point that potential at that point is zero, like infinity. Okay, so when two objects are separated by infinite distance, so large distance, that means there is no attraction between them. Okay, so that means there will be no potential at the point which is at infinity. So I will define the gravitational potential using infinity distance. Okay, so look at this. So gravitational potential means it is the work done. It is the work done to bring unit mass from infinity to a particular point, at a distance r, from the center of mass of any object, due to which we are finding potential. Okay, so it is the work done to bring unit mass from infinity to a particular point at a distance r from the center of mass of any object, due to which we are finding potential. Okay, so few things are there. First of all, it is work done. Four things are there. It is work done to bring unit mass. Okay, third one from infinity, and fourth one at a distance r. Okay, so using these 4 points, I will derive the potential formula. Okay, first of all, work done means it is a scalar quantity, so potential will also be a scalar quantity. Unit mass, infinity is the initial position. And at a distance r is the final position. Okay, this is initial to final. We are bringing any object from initial infinity to final at a distance r. Clear? A small change I am doing, due to which we are finding potential in the region of its gravitational field. Clear? So now I am coming to the derivation of gravitational potential. This is also very, very important for your board exam. So I am erasing this. So here you will keep in mind those 4 points. Now I am starting the derivation. First of all, it is work done. So I am drawing a diagram, simple diagram. Suppose this is an object, due to which we want to find the potential m, and from center of mass at a distance r. Okay, at point P we want to find the potential. Okay, take point P here, so that, okay, here the object is brought from infinity, right? Object is brought from infinity. So this is suppose infinity, object is coming in this way. Okay, this is infinity. Clear? Here, whenever I am bringing that object from infinity, that means distance is changing between this mass and the unit mass. Another object is unit mass, right? Between this mass and the unit mass, whenever the distance is changing, distance is decreasing, then gravitational force will also change, right? Gravitational force will also change. That means distance is changing continuously. Gravitational force will also change continuously. That means this process is the continuous process of changing gravitational force between two objects. So whenever this kind of thing, that means continuous change, we will get continuous change in physics, then we will do integration. Okay, continuous change means we will do integration. So for this thing, first we will take at a distance x, one point we will take at a distance x. Suppose this is the point. Okay, at this point the object has reached 1 kg mass, has reached here. Then I am taking that object by very small distance, that is dx. Very small distance. Okay, I am taking that distance is very small, so that the gravitational force between two objects will not change in this small region. Okay, because it is very, very small. dx means very, very small distance. Clear? So first we will find the work done due to this displacement. Then we will find the work done from infinity to this point. Clear? So here we know that force F is a vector quantity and its formula is gm, another mass is 1 into 1 by what is the initial distance? What is the distance I have taken? X, that is x square. Clear? This force is attractive force. It is coming towards the center of mass. Towards the center of mass means negative. Okay. This is along r axis. You can take x axis also. Okay. Here I am taking r axis, or as it is x, you can tell about x axis. So take x axis I cap. Clear? So that means force equal to basically minus gm by x square I cap. Okay, now displacement dx vector displacement is also in which direction? In this direction, towards the center of mass. This is the initial position, this is final position. So in this direction. So again minus along x axis, so I cap. So work done due to the small displacement, work done will be dw, and the proper formula of work done, actual formula is the dot product. Okay, dot product F dot dx. Okay, work done is the dot product of force and displacement. So minus gm by x square I cap dot minus dx I cap. Okay, minus minus become plus, minus minus become plus, and in dot product we product only those quantities which are similar nature. That means I cap with I cap, j cap with j cap, and k cap with k cap. So I cap dot I cap means, what is the value of I cap dot I cap? 1. So we will get only gm by x square dx. Clear? Clear? Now this is the work done for the small displacement. Now total work done W, total work done W will be what? Integration dw. That means integration gm by x square dx. X is the variable quantity. This x, this is the variable quantity. When the object is coming in this direction, x is decreasing. So x is the continuously variable quantity. So what is the initial value of x? Initial value means where the object was initially, that means infinity. So initial value is infinity and final value is r. These are, right? These are. So these two are called limits. This is called lower limit, this is upper limit of this integration. Okay. Now gm is constant, so take them out. Integration dx by x square infinity to r. Okay, what will be the integration? So I am making it simpler. X square, take it in the denominator, then sign will change. That means you will get x to the power minus 2 dx. What happens in integration? In integration, the power will be raised by 1 and the same number will come in the denominator. So look at this. Gm power will be raised by 1, x to the power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. Okay, minus 2 plus 1 means minus 1 and in the denominator also minus. So minus gm into x to the power minus 1. Okay, that means you will get minus gm by x. Clear? Now lower and upper limit infinity r. Okay, now we have to put the limit. First upper limit minus gm by r. Where we will put the upper limit? In place of the variable. This is the only variable. After putting upper limit, put minus sign. Then lower limit minus gm by infinity. Okay, something by infinity means 0. Something by infinity means 0. So the remaining term is gm by r. Okay, now look at this quantity. Look at this quantity. No vector sign is there. No I cap, no j cap, no r cap. That means it is a scalar quantity, right? It is a scalar quantity. And this is the work done for which mass? For unit mass. Okay, this is the work done for unit mass. So unit mass means what? It is the potential. So potential at point P. Potential is denoted by capital V. potential at point P equal to minus Gm by R. So potential only depends on the distance from the center of mass. Okay, potential only depends on the distance. Clear? So this derivation is very important, and we can derive this potential in this way because potential at infinity is 0. Clear? Potential at infinity is 0. Now come to its unit and dimension, and potential is a scalar quantity. So if there are number of masses and suppose this is R2, okay, this is R3, the total potential at any point will be simple addition, okay, not vector addition. So Vp equal to minus Gm by R. Here again we are getting potential negative because we are dealing with attractive force, okay, and potential at any point due to a number of mass will be minus Gm1 by R1, R2, R3. That means if we take minus common, then Gm1 by R1, simple addition. This is simple addition. This is simple addition. Okay, this is simple addition. Now what will be its unit? Unit. This is what? Work done per unit mass. Work done per unit mass. That means work done per unit mass. Again this is test mass, and test mass should be so small which will not affect the gravitational field. So W by M. So work done means joule and M means kg. So joule per kg. Okay. Dimension of potential at any point. This what will be? Dimension of work done by dimension of mass. What is the dimension of work done? Work done means what? Work done means force into displacement. Okay. Force means what? Dimension m L t to the power minus 2, and displacement means L. So you will get m L square t to the power minus 2. So we will get m L square t to the power minus 2 by m. M cancel out again. That means no m. No m means m to the power 0, L square t minus 2. This is the dimension of potential. Clear? So this is the small part of gravitational intensity and potential. Okay.